Hi guys, Brand here. This is going to be a serious video because we are going to be addressing that topic because I've seen quite a few really bad takes when it comes to this topic, and I feel like I have a unique perspective on this as a DBD content creator because I got my degree in social studies and I have taught social studies for 4 years at the high school level, so it was quite literally my job to be informed and know a lot about the history with these sort of things. So I want to kind of guide you on this way because I feel like a lot of people don't have malicious takes, because there's some people do, but a lot of people don't have malicious takes. A lot of people are misinformed, or they have a lot of political bias involved, or just like their methodology is kind of crap. So we'll just go through that right now and we'll sort that out. So the elephant in the room, the thing, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Leatherface, Bubba, good old Bubba Sawyer from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, his whole character thing is that he is a cannibal, but his favorite thing to do is to steal the faces of people he likes or his victims and put them on his own head. That's something that Leatherface has done through many of his franchise films. Yes, there are a lot of them. A lot of people don't know that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is actually a pretty long series, but it's because most of them are garbage. Like, one's one of the best horror films of all time, two's a good comedy, and then the rest are trash. But there are a ton of them. So to kind of emulate the spirit of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, they allowed you to take the faces of the first 4 survivors in the game if you killed each of them individually 50 times. The only one I have is Meg because, I was late to the game. That's the only character that I have killed 50 times because now there's a bajillion survivors in the game. But where this becomes kind of dicey and it's in murky waters, so to speak, is because 2 of the first 2 survivors are white, that being Meg and Dwight, and the other 2 are not, with Claudia being African American and Jake being Korean American. So here's the deal with why people are upset about that. And this is a pill that's hard to swallow, especially if you're somebody in a situation where you're not personally affected by this. But what has happened since this has been a thing and has for some reason been having kind of a resurgence lately is that people will, because you can switch your cosmetics in the lobby, right? You can be Bubba and you can switch your cosmetics in the lobby before a match begins. What they'll do is they'll see somebody of a certain race and equip the similar head on Bubba and use it as a way to torment them. So they will be outwardly mean in the game. They will chase them down. They will tunnel them. They will camp them. Make sure they're not able to play the game. They'll BM them on hook. They'll essentially, make the game a miserable experience for them, all the while wearing, their face. So it's one of those things where I feel like people's instinctual reaction is to go, well, it's just lore accurate, or it's just a cosmetic. But here's the deal. Intention doesn't matter when it comes to the creation of these things. It just doesn't. It's how people use it that matters. One of the greatest symbols of in the history of the world, I'm not even going to say it because I'm pretty sure YouTube would destroy me if I even mentioned it or showed a picture of it. You can't even say that. There was a certain regime during World War II that attempted to take over the world. They adopted a famous symbol that had existed in the world for a very, very long time up until that point. That said symbol that existed that existed for way long before this was traditionally Eurasian and was used in many different religions as a symbol of peace and sometimes the sun. It had a lot of different meanings based on where you used it, but mostly that was a positive sign of strength and forgiveness and kindness. It was a good thing. It was a good symbol that was used to simplify good things. But that's not what they used it for. They used it as a branding for one of the most evil empires to ever exist in human history. I don't think any of you ever would be painting that symbol somewhere and saying, no, the original meaning was about peace and tranquility. Nobody would ever do that. Nobody does that. Nobody ever does that. So we're in a situation now where we're similar to that situation. Because, yes, of course, the people who put this into Dead by Daylight were probably just trying to give you a fun thing that reminisces you about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise and how one of Bubba's iconic character traits is stealing people's faces. But that's not what the player base was using it for and is still using it for. That's not what they're using it for. They're using it to torment people with very, very bigoted feelings, very heated bigoted feelings towards others. And they're using it as a face and a symbol of their bigotry. That's what they're using it for. And that sucks. Nobody likes this situation. Nobody's happy to have to point this out. That's another bad take I see, is everybody's like, the people just like doing these sort of things. There's nothing happy about this situation. Nobody's having a good time. There's just not. Nobody's having a good time with this situation, I can promise you. But here's the deal. And I've said this many times before on stream, in my own Discord, but I'll say it here for the YouTube too. So we have nothing, any sort of misunderstandings or anything between us. Games die, and therefore so do all their cosmetics. Plenty of old games I used to love. Servers gone, dead. Resident Evil Outbreak was one of my favorite horror games, one of the first horror games I ever played. Those servers are dead. Been dead for a super long time. Never get to play that again. It's gone. Everything's gone with that. There's plenty of recent games that people have played that were live servers. You know, you fired up your PS3 or Xbox 360 back in the day, you played those, you spent a lot of money on cosmetics and stuff. Those servers are down. Those servers are dead. All the money that you spent on those games back in that day, it's gone. Those servers shut down. That game is out of commission. But you know what never gets shut down? People. People are never shut down. There will always be more people. So to me, I think our priorities are pretty clear. And if you're not on board with that, I think your priorities are pretty backwards. I don't know when DBD will go. I don't know what will be the end of DBD. It seems like they're one of the most resistant behavior has been one of the most resistant companies I have ever seen, because they've gone through controversy after controversy after controversy, and they seem to be able to survive it all. They seem to be able to do anything, like literally anything, and get away with it. So I don't know what will bring down DBD. I don't know what will bring down DBD. I have no idea, but it will happen. The game's already 5 years old. It's been a while, dude. The life cycle will end. Even if it's just to make Dead by Daylight 2, which I don't think they'll ever do, but even if it's just to make Dead by Daylight 2, this game will end, and all the money and cosmetics and everything we spent on it will go away. But people don't go away. So why prioritize a single cosmetic, two really, in this game over the health and safety of people everywhere that will live way past this game? I don't know. To me, it's just clear. And hopefully this helped, shed some light and perspective on the situation. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I do not care. If you disagree with me on this, I think you're wrong. And there's not really much you can do to change my mind, because I have many of our friends who have, experienced firsthand this situation, the pain that it has caused them, and there's not really much you can do to move me on this one. So I'm sorry if you don't agree. I'm sorry if this is a big turnoff, but this was made mostly as like an explanation as to like why people think this way, and hopefully I can, I helped shed some light on that, and hopefully you understand a little bit better, what the whole, reason for people wanting it removed is all about. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know it was more of a heavy video today, but I think it's an important one to make, and I think a lot of people fence it on this sort of stuff and never bring it up and never talk about it, and then that leaves a lot of people in the dark, and that sucks. And I know what I would rather be, and I wouldn't be somebody just casually watching this all go down, and I'd rather say something, with the platforms that I have available to me. So yeah, hopefully that helped you. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and if I don't, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.